Hi, my name is Manu Mitra and I will be the instructor for HPALM. So HPALM 12.5 version. So right now we'll talk about HPALM is Hewlett Packard Application Lifecycle Management. That's what it means by HPALM. And I'm using this little old version. I hope this is working. 12.5 versions. Latest I think is 15th version or 16. We'll see about that. This is my testing purpose. Actually didn't work it out like so. Trying to test it. So okay. So the problem with this old version 12.5, right? So we'll just go a little bit on introduction point of view before going to HPALM. Okay. So what exactly is this HPALM? So HPALM is a test management tool, right? It's a test management tool where you can actually document your test cases. It's similar. I have given a lot of classes on Rally, Jira. It's a lot of those things, but it's also similar tool. So okay. So this is how it looks like. Unfortunately, I'll not be able to give you access to this. Okay, sorry about that. I have at Udemy, I have given a lot of access. Lot of people log in. I get a lot of email that you log in from Indonesia, log in from Canada, log in from Poland, and sorry. So lot of people log in and give free access for them for use of Unfortunately, for this one I cannot give because I don't really have access to this. I'm just giving I hope you will learn interactively, but unfortunately you will not be able to learn by practice. I prefer more into practice point of view rather just giving a talk, like talking and saying everyone can talk. Talking is a big deal. Working on that is a very important thing. You can only understand. See, here's the thing. When I say something about any tool, as a matter of fact, any tool, you can only be able to understand 50% of what I'm saying, but remaining 50% you have to practice. Unfortunately, that's something which I'm not able to do that. But I just you will be still good if you are good at grasping things out. You could able to understand this pretty quick. So I hope that should not be a problem. I mean, a lot of people also give negative feedback, but I hope that should not be a problem because HPALM is not a free. I mean, neither of this is neither Jira is free, neither Rally is free. But in my classes, I have given this access because I personally had this access. And I have given them, but unfortunately I don't have this access for this one. And if you want, you can get it actually for 30 days trial version, but it's up to you. Okay, so before going into this, let's understand. So this is very peculiar, the peculiar test management tool here. Okay, so since it is hosted in someone else's server, this why this URL is different. Otherwise you will get a different IP address, right? Okay, that's one thing. Before doing that, I'm explaining everything as a testing point of view. Okay, I will be also putting the description there. So everything is in the testing point of view, right? So, as administrator, when you go as administrator, so let's go here. So what you want to do is go to the security option, go to the trusted sites, and you want to add this. You see this. This is the one, and this thing doesn't record. See, the problem is this is hosted in the LAN server, LAN option. Okay, LAN server. That is, it's not in because if you are using in web version, then it's a completely different. You will get the HTTPS, but here HTTP because I'm using LAN server, it don't require it. Since we don't require any of that, so let's not worry about it. It's administrator work. So here HPALM, I'm explaining as a testing perspective. we'll talk about this QA. I'm not sorry. I'm actually explaining about this tool rather than what actually will be testing it. I'm not going into testing perspective, but I'll be showing you some demo. It's not demo actually. It's showing an example. How do you use this HPLM? So if you are familiar with it, start the password and let's log in into it. So the problem with this is it only uses Internet Explorer. I'm not exactly sure about the recent version, 15th version, 16th version, right? Sorry. So here, if I see this, I know what. Before logging into it, so we'll just we will talk about this a little bit later. We will see this. Guess what? Let me go to this site administration and oops, I guess put it on. I don't have access for that. So I want to go to tools. I guess tools, more HPI. So this is very important point of view, which probably I will take into next class, and we will talk about this. But for now, what we want to do here, since I already version 15, I see this 15.1, 15. A lot of things here. Okay, actually, you want these add-ins actually. So we'll talk about this in detail. Since this is a different company, you see this Micro Focus, but HPLM is from Hewlett Packard. Okay, so it's a lot of tabs. I hate this thing, but never mind. Since you want to learn about this, it has very low reviews. I mean, my Udemy reviews are better than this. Trust me. So at least I get 3. If not, okay, 5 is a big number. 4, sometimes 4.5. 3 I get 2. I have like hundreds of courses. So okay, so here's the thing. So which one we are using is the question. So the C is here 15. So we are not using 15 one. We are using 12 point. You see here, this is the one. So we will go through this again, probably in the next class or something. How to upload our test cases when you already have test cases written in HPLM and you want to upload it, and we will go to this and see this how this thing will work it out for us. Okay, right now we have this HPLM and authenticate. So sorry, something happened. Probably okay, good. Probably I mistyped this password. Something went wrong. Okay. So what happens is, so you can only use this in IE browser. So this is a tricky thing. This is a tricky thing. I hate HPLM. To be honest, I'll be really honest with you. But I've been working on this one from like what 2012, 2013. It's a pretty long time, and this is 2020. Probably 7 years, I think, right? I've been using it pretty good. So there was no HP. So when I started this, there was no HPALM. There was something called quality. There was a Mercury. Forgot that name. First, it was the test director. Then they had this. It was from Mercury. It came with the test director. Then they made a quality testing tool or something, quality QA tester tool or something. Then what happened is HP bought that Mercury company, whole company. So they bought QTP, they bought everything. So pretty much screwed up after that. What happened is everything got changed. So since HP bought it, but the problem with HPALM is it's not a problem. I mean, you don't have to take it as a problem. There's always a solution. But the thing is, it's very hectic to work on HPLM on agile methodology. So since you use the agile methodology in your project, it's good. But if you are working on waterfall methodology, HPLM is good for you. Waterfall methodology is kind of, it's the relaxed kind of thing. 6 months project, oh, we work 12 months, oh, this, all those kind of things. But it's good to use that in that waterfall methodology. But agile doesn't work that way. Agile is pretty quick. 1 month release, second month second release, second sprint, third month third sprint. I mean, I'm just giving an example. If you take one sprint as 1 month, so normally I have worked in 1 month. It can be 1 week, it can be 2 weeks, it can be three months. I don't know. It depends on project. But if you're working in agile and you're working on HPLM, then you're gonna do a lot of work for you, because this thing is pretty complicated. I mean, I'm not saying it's complicated, but it's kind of, I mean, who wants to work triple time, 4 times? It's like redundancy work. Okay, nevertheless. So what we are going to see here, this is the user interface when you get it. Since I am administrator, not exactly, but I have all the modules here. Let me show you this. This is all the modules. But let me tell you this. The problem is, if you, let's say I'm telling all this as a tester perspective, and I'll be specifying this very, I'll be specifying in my class also in the particular description that it's only for a testing perspective. Okay, we can go with business analyst perspective, we can go through project manager perspective, not Scrum Master. If you're using Scrum Master, or you'll be doing a lot of work here, right? Alright, now not developer perspective, although you can work as a developer here, but not required. So to give you a point, you will not be having all the access for this. Here we have lot of access. You see here, analysis view, or you have this dashboard. As a tester, okay, you can see the dashboard. Fair enough. Probably you might have it, you might not have. Okay, but this is the dashboard where you can see. Let's see here. You have this various. This has some nasty habit of showing us a lot of things. So, but okay. The management, of course, you don't want to go there unless you're going as a manager, but of course you can. But my class is not limited to any other user. Although I'm actually giving you information about testing point of view, but it don't have to be that. If you know how to use the tool, if you see, here's the thing. Learning a tool is easy, mastering is hard. So if you want to learn something, it's easy. It's not. But if you want to master it, you have to come up with your own thing. Then it's it will be a hard thing. But learning it should be easy. It should not be a big deal. So here management. Let's talk about this management. Since we don't have access, I have access because kind of semi administrator. I'm actually administrator of this. I can modify this at the back end, and I can do this, but that's not the point. The point is, this is management perspective. As a QA, you will not have access to this. See, you see here management. You are not management. As a tester, you will not be a library. So this whole things will not. See here. You can create a repository. You want to put SSL, TFS server. This is a Team Foundation server. It used to be Team Foundation server, but no more TFS. It's they have changed into something else. So if you have a repository, you can pull out from them and build server. If you have server, you give that server name from which server it's coming from, and we don't want that right now. So that's a management perspective, right? Okay. I'll not be giving lengthy session because each file will be like since I'm recording this in .avi file, and each file will be like I don't know, like GBs of file. So while uploading it restricts some of this restriction. I have like 5 GB is limited, so I don't want to go beyond it. So I'll make it short introduction kind of thing, and let's get straight to the point. So here is the thing. So most important perspective as a tester point of view, or as a matter of fact anyone, requirement module, where you have the requirement. Here we can create requirement. Let's see this. Let's probably we'll complete this requirement module today, but before going to that, you want to have some idea what exactly is this. So business, this is a job of a business analyst. Here this is where the business analyst comes into the picture. Okay, BA, in short we call it as a BA, business analyst, right? And the other name for this is product owner, which is an agile methodology. Okay, in agile methodology we call as product owners, so don't worry about it. We will take it as BA because it's an easy term, and it's that's what we will be using HPLM most of the time. But if you're unlucky and you're using HPLM in agile, good luck with that, because you'll be requiring a lot of work here. Okay, not that you cannot do it, it's kind of a more work, if you work, it's a lot of work around, but don't hate your job. You probably want to work around on this. So here, this is the requirement module. So as the tester, although I have access to create, I can create here anytime. But as a tester, you will not have access to this module. You will be only having read-only access. Read-only access. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you see this disabled option. So all this will be disabled. Right now it's enabled because I'm administrator and I can see this. And I can manipulate anytime I want it, but as the real time when you go into the project, this will be disabled because you will not be have access for this. Requirement module is not for testers. Simply, it's only to read. That means what is written and what you have to test. Right? So this is the requirement. So we'll go into this detail actually. Because of we'll take these short videos and we'll just go into it. We don't want long. I can make 1 hour video the whole thing, but we don't want that because since you will also get bored, and moreover the file becomes very large. It's more of a problem to everyone. So this is the requirement tab. Okay, so which all this is a root directory. And anyhow you will be working on this in the root directory, and so whenever you create a project, you want this folder or directory. I would say directory. I'm a Unix guy probably, so I will say directory instead of folder. So in Unix there's nothing called folder. They don't call folder, it's called directory. So I'm a Unix guy. I like Unix more than Windows, so although I use most of the time I use Windows. So but here there are different directories. So one, okay, you can call it as a folder. Here it is folder, right? Okay, so here this is the requirements, and you can see this requirements, but you are not supposed to, even if you have write access, you are not supposed to do anything. You are not allowed to do anything, right? You are prohibited to use this as a tester. But if you are a business analyst, of course, this will be your job to do this, add more requirements and based on this data. Okay, so let's go to a little more models. If you have options, what's the models all about? If you have any model, an attachment is information, or create a model, right? You can do this. Not cup of my coffee, but yet you can do this, and you can add a new path, and you can do all those things. Here already somebody tried to create these models, and you have to describe it, and can create new path. How are you supposed to this should be enabled. For some reason it's not getting enabled, so but let's create model 1. If it works, let's try that. Oh yeah, it's good. So model, this directory is already created and there is no attachment, but unfortunately I cannot create a path for this. So but you know, again, this is the access level, you know, back and I have to look it out why it's not creating a path. Probably I don't have access for this. So that's the whole point. The requirements where all the requirements are there. Okay, not mentioning business. This is the requirement. Okay, we will go in detail, so let's hang out with that. Okay, let's go to the testing tab. Here is the thing. This is a big deal for us, right? Although you see this lot of options here, you can unfortunately you don't have access, so otherwise I would have said that for you to practice this, but nevertheless you can do this. Test resources, if you have any resource, see these are the okay, is here the strategy document. If you have strategy documents or test plan document, you can upload here, you can put it here. These are the test resources. So the whole point is to act as a SharePoint. Although this is not a SharePoint, this is SharePoint is to share within the team. This is a test management tool. You do whatever you document here. Okay, so but since you still have this option, but it's again access level is the most important thing. Business components, again, it's not a cup of anyone's tea. I wonder why you cannot create a component in this. Component request is requested by, that's a very interesting. Component is requested by, okay, so you're saying to drag it. So I cannot drag anything here. Okay, very good. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of thing which a tester not required. It's not required for a tester always. Probably you might require it. You might do some kind of research to get it. But oh, hold on, new component. You cannot have this component. Let's create a component. No, you cannot go. You have to create it. The reason you cannot create a component, but because one thing is the access level, the second thing is probably because it has to be linked with the other requirements, and you see this business component, so only then you can do that. Okay, so let's go to the next tab module. This is test plan. Alright, this is where our job starts. Test plan is, what is test plan? Test plan is where, okay, let's not confuse this. Okay, test plan in HPALM is different than test plan document. Test plan document is different thing. Test plan module in HPALM is a different thing. So there was an interview question, right? So explain about test plan. Now that's a very good question. When you're answering this interview questions, right? So you don't know, is it a test plan in the HPLM, you don't know is the HPA test plan document. So in that case you have to understand. So they might, if it's not, they are not talking about HPLM, then of course it's not the document, they are talking about this one. Okay, so don't get confused. The test plan document is a completely different thing than test plan here in HPLM is completely different thing. Don't relate to each other, nothing to do with each other. Alright. What does the test plan do? Test plan, okay, so here in HPALM, test plan is used to create test cases. That's it, nothing else. Don't even think about anything else. Test plan, let me find out if there is any GMO. I'm getting a lot of GMO thing. My GMO thing is okay, good. We only, too bad that only 2 test cases. We will write test cases here in the probably in the next coming videos. And so in the test plan, we write only test cases. Let's see here. Too bad. So we'll write 5 steps at least. So we'll use browser, and we will be using, okay, oops, probably this is not the one. Let's see here. This is also testing map, probably you can use that one too. But test sites, let's go to test here post. Okay, this is okay, here is go. So we will be writing test cases based on this application. This is a web application. We will be writing the test cases for this. Okay, so this is the test plan. What is test plan? It is used to write the test cases in the HPALM. Let's go to the different module. Test lab module. So okay, so what you do in the test, guess what, I'll be creating a different directory here. Okay, sorry, I'm confusing a lot about directory and folders. You can call it as a folder, I will call it as a directory. I'm a Unix guy, although I do use a lot of Windows, but I prefer to use the name directory than a folder. So what is the test lab module? Test lab module is used to execute your test cases. Now here is the thing, here's the important thing what you want to know, that you cannot execute test cases which you have created in test plan just like that. You don't do just like that, it doesn't work just like that. The problem is you have to create a new project again, you have to create a new test set again, you have to pull all that test cases what you have written into here, and we will go through this long and painful thing. Here what we will be doing is, probably I'll delete this one and show you again. You will be doing that a painful thing which is technically not required, but since you have to use it, but if you get used to it, probably it will be easy. Okay, that's the test lab. What you do in the test lab? Execute the test cases, that's all you do. Test runs is more for a it's for lead perspective, where your lead will be looking into it, what you're doing and what you're not doing, those things which are completed, which are not completed, and all those things. Let's go. I skipped this thing like cloud settings. I'll be skipping this. Performance, so here's the thing, this is a test management tool, right? You can do a lot more things than this. You can do performance testing, you can do stress testing, you can do load testing. Okay, load testing and stress testing combined to call as performance testing. Okay, you can do all this, so I'll be skipping that. Developer, if you are a developer, you want to be a developer, sure, this videos might be helpful for you. If you want to create builds, you can go ahead and create a builds and code changes if there are any code changes. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, the last module to discuss is defects module. Let me drag this. So, oops, too high. Okay, this is a defects module. I can remove this. This is pretty straightforward. I can remove these columns by, I can go ahead and see which one I want, which one I don't. I can pull back all here. Oops, no, not do that. And it shows nothing. So, defects modules. So, what happens in the defect module? You can create a new defect. Now, this is a very good thing. Now, you were testing this, you found an issue, and I'll show you the issue actually. So, we will go to this and we will open defects. So let me show you the defect is when I'm ordering the large quantities. These are the large quantities, and shipping and handling is showing as $5. I see this as a defect, and I'll be opening this as a defect. Okay. Okay. If you guys have any questions on this, you can reach me out there, but I'll be looking at it as a defect because it's $5 shipping and all. So I'll be opening it defects in the defects modules, and the screenshots is the heart of this system. Now Okay. Now the reason screenshot is very important, because when you're working at the work, right? When you're working at the workplace and your boss calls you, says your boss calls you and says like, okay, so you have tested this application, and you will say yes. How would I know that you tested this application? There you go. You're in trouble when the questions starts pouring like this, because you cannot say like, I don't know, I have no idea. You don't want to say that. So that's the reason screenshots is heart of the system. If you are not putting the screenshots, then you are in big trouble. Okay, so screenshots is very important. So let's sum it up. Sorry, it was pretty confusing, but first class, take it easy. We'll go in detail. So what we learned is 3 important modules: requirements, testing, test plan, test lab, 4, and the defects module. This is the 4 most important modules. Even if you are a developer, even if you are a tester, whatever you are, you will be dealing most of this. These things. The other one, I'm not saying that it's not important. The other one you can learn through by process, because I am explaining. So unfortunately, I am explaining as a testing perspective. So as a testing perspective, these are the important things. If I am a developer, let's take it as if I am a developer, I will be explaining requirements module, defects modules, development module, but I will not be explaining test lab and test plan, because it's none of my business. It's not my job. I'll directly go to this development, how do you build it and all this stuff, I'll be showing you. But if you are aware of this development module will be similar, because what we will be doing, so you will be using the same thing in this year. Okay, so to sum up, we talked about requirements module, test plan module, okay, test lab module, and defects module. What does the requirement says? In the requirement, you can only have view access. What is the requirement? What is the test plan? You only write test cases. That's all you do. Test cases, right? What you do in test lab, you execute the test cases. How you do? That's we're gonna talk about in future classes. So it's pretty complex. That's a different story. We will talk about it. Execute the test cases. Okay, in the test lab, we execute the test cases. Okay, let's minimize this. Defects. What you do in the defects module, you open the defects. Example I told you, right? Example, this is an example, this is a defect. Now I will be opening this defect. Not now, not right now. We don't want to go into in details at this point of time. We just want to know what are the various components for HPALM 12.5. Right? Let me repeat. I'm sorry. Somebody said like you're repeating too much. I'm really sorry. Because there are a lot of people from all over the world who use these videos, so people are not familiar with my accent. I agree, I have a strong accent, probably Indian accent, so you can just probably you can if you bought the course, probably you can do it multiple times, hundreds of times, you'll get used to it. So not a big deal. I don't see that as a issue. So okay, let's sum up again. Requirements module, where you view the requirements. Okay, requirements module where you view the requirements. Test plan module where you write the test cases or implement the test case. Whatever, how do you want to say this? Up to you. Right? Test lab module. Oh, here you go. Test lab module where you execute your test cases. You see here, pass, fail, whatever. Execute the test cases. Defects module where you report the defects. That's pretty much for our introduction on HPALM 12.5. Alright, I hope you like the course, and probably I'll go to the next class in just few moments, and probably if you didn't understand my point of view, is probably you can once you know, I'm a little fast, I know, I understand that, but you can, it's kind of stop and play back again, and you can play back again, and you can be okay. So that's pretty much, and thanks for listening. You know, we'll see you in the next class. Thanks, bye.